and I've said this a few times, but just be the best version of yourself. Like, really go out your way to. But on the first day I was there, I went viral, like on the news viral. It's this part of the tradition. She has to test your manhood. So she'll grab your balls to see if you're manly enough to like we haven't seen any of the long-term effects of OnlyFans stuff. What I believe is going to happen is my biggest strength and my biggest downfall has always been women from early, bro. Like, I've never got involved with like gang stuff, never get involved with drugs. I've never done
hella booty.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Gooms podcast. 90% of you guys are actually not subscribed, so please make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn the bell notifications on so you can get notified every time we release a podcast. Enjoy the episode.
Welcome back to the Goons podcast, episode 36 now.
36, baby.
Yeah, we're still going. Got a very special guest for you guys today, man. Shaun, would you like to introduce yourself?
So my name is Shaun Pelayo. I'm a model, actor, influencer, and it's a pretty lit guy, man.
Yes, sir.
Make me look small next to you on the camera. I already know, bro.
Just a little bit of a backstory to you lot. I seen Shaun up in our like section. Seeing you liked a couple of our reels with Kofi.
Yeah, man.
And you know me being what's the word?
Perspicacious.
Yeah. Just seen it and I was like, you know what, fuck it, let's shoot our shot. I could see that Shaun had like a pretty good following and you're showing some love and here we are, bro. So first of all, thank you because I know you travelled from London today as well.
I know.
Busy dude. But we got there in the end. Yeah. And we're here, baby. We here.
Let's dive into you, bro, because I mean you do a bit of everything. You do acting, you do modeling and stuff like that. Where did everything kind of start for you, bro?
Well, so I'm like super goal orientated. I've got like a very much like conquering mindset. So I'll just set a goal within a certain industry or something I want to do, and I'll just work relentlessly towards it. And it's normally like a big, unrealistic goal. So it started with like basketball, obviously. So I grew up in Cornwall, which is like a super white area, and it's like there's no basketball players that really made it. Yeah, and I just set this, and I was small as well. I was like 5'6" for so long, and size 8 feet. I remember it. Yeah, and I was like, no, up until I was like 17, I had a mad growth spurt, which I needed at the time. But anyway, so then I pursued a career in basketball, and there's a team I used to watch growing up, and luckily I went to that team in the end after like loads of trials and tribulations. And then when I got there, kind of just that dream was done. It wasn't what I expected it to be. Then I wanted to look a certain way with my physique and tattoos and stuff. I had a very, very clear image. Actually, do you know what it is? You remember when they used to do like club photos? I don't know if they still do club photos, and used to check Facebook.
Yeah.
You know, tramps on the corner. I envisioned myself, with a white tee on, with a red snapback, and filling out my tees. I never used to fill out my t-shirts with like tattoos. And then like a year later, I did it, and I just got obsessed with the gym. I did what every like young boy does. I just fell in love with the gym, and I got really big, and then realised there's no point in being that big.
Yeah,
and then
literally
kind of dropped that size. And then it was like I moved to Birmingham with my girl at the time, and I got a job working in schools. I used to work with kids with behaviour issues, which is cool. I was like something I was really good at, and they created job roles for me and stuff. But then we used to watch X on the Beach, and back when it used to be popping, there was like 2 or 3 people on there, and there was one guy that kind of resembled myself and the way I spoke and stuff. And I was like, I don't want to say his name because had like a little thing, but
okay, that's cool.
And then basically it was just like, I was like, what? I went on his Instagram afterwards, and he's like, he's getting paid to go on photo shoots and paid to like promote stuff and gets invited to all his mad stuff. I'm like, well, I could do that. So I just pursued it. I used to set my kids' work. I used to do like the follow and follow method on Instagram, where I'd just be smart about it. I'd be like, what would my demographic be? Who would want to follow me? So I type like, it sounds a bit silly, but like single mom pages or mixed race babies where the moms would just go on it, and then if they see like this semi alright looking guy following them, they're more likely to follow back. Then the next day or the week afterwards, in and out. The week afterwards I'd like unfollow loads, and then like slowly build it that way. Then I'd reach out to 15 to 20 brands a day, agencies. For the first like 2 years, I did everything for free. Did like a couple of reality shows. None of them really popped off, but I got like really cool experiences from it. Networked.
Like what?
Back then, shows? The first one I did was it was called Cannonball. It was like it was nothing really, but it was my first time like experiencing the, you know, as soon as you leave your yard, everything's paid for until you get to I went to Malta, filmed it, had an experience with a female, etc. And even that wasn't really part of the show. Then you come back, and then I did coach trip with my best friend, which was life changing because when I was out there, we was out there for like, I think we left England for like 4 to 5 weeks. And I came back. Imagine you getting treated like a superstar the whole time. Everything's sorted for you, every meal, the cameras, you're recognised as the talent. I came back to a photo shoot as well, where it was like some like trap star that had like a lot of money. So like he booked us for the shoot and then took us to a club afterwards. Then the Monday morning I'm back working in schools, being violated by kids. And it's just like, it was just like
It's
this
like
for
back
like,
to reality.
yeah,
Yeah.
for a couple of years. And then I tried leaving that job twice because I thought the modelling took off and it dried up twice. Went back there twice, and then I finally got my big break. Oh no, sorry, I picked up videography. That's when I learned how to do videos. So I started doing club videos to support it. Club videos is good money, man. Like at the time, like you get £300, £400 for a club video. Do 1 or 2 a week. It's
long though, man. When you walk around with your camera, people spilling drinks on you. And
yeah,
shit. It's kind of like where we started as well.
Yeah, bro. It damages your ego as well, especially because if you want to be the person in front of the camera and you're filming all these people that you want to be in their positions and they look at you a certain way. But then from there, I started doing like club videos to like music videos, so every like rapper and trapper. Then I started doing like just through word of mouth, started doing tattoo shop videos, and then hair. Then hair became my thing, like hair coloring and like women's hair. So I did work with like GHD, Weller, Amica, through a guy.
Big dogs then.
Yeah,
I did like film that whole campaign when it was mad through a guy that he's like an ambassador for them, so they recognized me through him. And then then I just started doing that, and then I had finally got my big break in modeling, so I stopped doing the videography, and then I just didn't look back since. The modeling, it was crazy. It was like, it was just snowball. I did the one big thing, it led to another. Then all like the PRs and the agencies and the brands that used to like say no to me or used to ignore me, they all came back. And then
what was the big break?
It was in Amsterdam. So there's another influencer model called Warren Phillips who I met in the gym. He's a super sick, humble guy. He had this campaign booked in Amsterdam for a brand called AB Lifestyle. We're really big out there. And initially, they asked him they were like, we need another model that looks this certain criteria. I think they needed a white guy with a beard. And he was like, nah, you need this guy. And he just gassed me up to them. And they were like, nah, you need someone that looks like this. And then they were like, yeah, no, you're right. So me and him went out there. And it was the first time I experienced that lifestyle. Like, you know that thing that you dream about when you're a kid? Like, you land and the things they say to you and the cars they pick you up in and places they take you. It's like, it's
that big G moment.
Yeah, it was.
I did it, bro. I did it. I grew up watching X on the Beach and MTV, and I'd be buzzing every Tuesday that it would be on, and all of that kind of stuff. And I went and I did a show for BBC.
What was it?
It was called Love in the Flesh.
Oh, no way.
They pitched it to us like we were going to be the OG season 1 of BBC's version of Love Island.
Yeah.
So we got flown out to Crete, spent a month in Crete. Obviously, everything paid for, pay on top, cameras, and I was in Love Island, bro. I was in a room sat like this having convos, and there's cameras in the walls doing that and all of this kind of stuff.
No way.
And it was that, and then obviously that flopped as well, most of them do.
Loads of them flop, man.
That feeling of like
the superstar.
My biggest worry was like, does my hair look good enough, or is my fit as good as it needs to be?
Yeah.
And then you come back and it's like shit. Everything's different, bro. Yeah. Snapped out of it.
It's like a normal person again when you come back.
Literally, bro. Literally. So what was the shoot in Amsterdam? What was it?
So it's just it was a photo shoot for a brand, and then I remember because it was like a 2-day campaign, and there was stuff that happened outside of it. It was just crazy, like the things you dream about when you're a kid. And then we came back to on the last day. We sat by the river, and I was like, I had an inquiry by this massive brand that I really, really wanted to work with, which I would have done completely for free in my head. And then I spoke to him about what I want to achieve when I get back. And as soon as I landed, that brand reached out to me, gave him a quote. They ended up flying me out. Shot for them, and I showed so much gratitude because I come from absolutely nothing as well. Like, showed so much gratitude. Walking into a hotel room and it's got your name on the thing, and there's a driver that picks you up and someone that like touches you, everything, does your makeup. You're like, oh, this is crazy. And then I became their most booked model that year. And then from then, another big brand that I absolutely love started booking me all the time. A PR that wanted to charge me before started using me. And then when you get PR, they just you wake up some days and they're like, can you put this in your story, or can you go to this concert, or and you're just like, yeah, and I'm getting paid as well. And it's just like, then all the influencers that was already on top, they start like following you, then invite you to parties, and then you just become there. And then the biggest goal I had in the modeling stuff was to be on a billboard in Birmingham. Because when I used to work with kids in the schools, like I'd go to meet them early and they wouldn't turn up yet. So I just stand there looking at a billboard like, this ain't my life. One day I'm going to be on this billboard. Like, before I ever did a whole shoot in my whole life. And then I finally achieved that like last December.
I saw it. Is that like outside of
yeah, it was in
what's it called? What's the Park
the roundabout
Regis
thing?
Park Regis.
What was it?
It was just for a brand called Luxury London.
Okay.
Yeah, so I did that, and then
sick, bro. Congrats, well done.
Thank you, man. And then there's like loads of other little goals. Like I wanted to have the international bookings. I wanted to be in shop fronts in London and like loads of goals that I wrote clearly next to my bed. And I did them all, and then when I did them all, I was like, okay, now what's next? Acting. To be an actor, you have to get onto a thing called Spotlight. And to get on Spotlight, you have to get like certain credits that are approved by certain bodies and blah blah blah. And it's so like if you don't come from a theatre school background, it's really difficult to get into it. And I just the same thing. I just reached out to every.
Oh shit! Sorry, that's my bad.
That's so good. Every like director that I found on Instagram, anything I could possibly do.
You're just being resilient, bro.
Yeah,
You're putting yourself out there.
I just introduce myself to directors, and I'll do extra work, and then try and get my foot in the door, and I just manifested it, and then like I got like a few really cool roles. I just did my first American one, like I think maybe 6 months ago. It didn't come out for 2 years, but it was like a big scene with, you know, Macaulay Culkin's brother. He's like in the new Black Mirror episode. So it was like,
if you showed me him, I probably would could have seen the new Black Mirror, but I can't think.
But it's sick. So I did like a whole scene with him where I had like an accent coach, had like my own room with my name on it and script, and like it's just crazy, bro. Sick. Like some of the stuff I've done now. I just did that acting job last night. It wasn't. But I did Hollyoaks a few days ago. That was my first few lines in it. So it's just baby steps, man. Like baby steps with that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I really fuck with your whole energy and your mindset, bro, because I feel like in this day and age, not a lot of people have that go get it anymore. Yeah. Everybody expects something from nothing because it's so accessible to you. You can see everything on your phone. Like you said, those influencer parties, everyone thinks that it's so easy to get there and it's so easy to do these things, but no one sees the graft that a lot of these guys, and I think maybe influencers is the wrong example, but just anybody that you aspire to be, like the graft that goes into actually being that person and becoming it, like takes a lot, man. And 100%. Consistency over a long time.
It's not even just like the physical, it's more like the psychological side of things, man. I think this is something that's good to talk about, because it's like, so if I was to stand here and say like, yo, I can bench like 130, it's like, yeah, you get gas for it, but no one talks about how sick it is. Like, I'm mentally so strong. It's like, I don't know why it's like a taboo thing to say. Like,
nah, bro, I feel you. I'm the same.
Yeah, innit? Like, I think it's something we should be proud of, because like mental strength is way more like.
I was actually, it's so weird that you said that. I've been rewatching the Kanye doc on Netflix. That's and incredible. You know, on the last episode when him and his mom put together that charity, the foundation, and he gets on stage and he looks really shy and really timid, and then he starts talking and you see him getting into his Kanye flow, and he goes, if I just release something and someone says, that's so good, bro, what am I supposed to turn around? Oh, you think so? Yeah. He goes, yeah, I like it too. Me and you are on the same vibe. Like, how can you be overconfident? Yeah. Like, how, do you know what I mean? Like, that self-belief thing, bro, is what makes those people reach that top 1%.
100%, man. That's like, there's a sick 50 Cent, that's like this 12-minute, I listen to a lot of inspirational stuff in it. There's like this 12-minute 50 Cent mix that I heard, man. I really need to hear it. At one point, he says, before he even signed a deal with Gina or Eminem, for them 6 years, the lifestyle that he created through like what he was doing before, he turned to music, he ran off his own energy. And it was so relatable, man, because that first 4 or 5 years prior to that break, it was just my own energy, man. Like, trying to convince people, even trying to convince my own mum, like, obviously she supports and loves me no matter what, but going home broke every Christmas, and every time I go home, I've got no money. I'm like, Ma, don't worry, it'll work out. Yeah, and then it finally all worked out, and the other day, like, I bust her, got 5 figures in my mum's account. I'm gassed to say that the other day.
Well done, bro.
Thank you.
That is dope.
So she bought like a little swimming pool in the Philippines, and now when I move back out there, she's coming, and then I have to make a certain amount by April, where she's got to then make a decision where she carries on working or whether I can finally support her.
That's amazing, man.
But it's
sick, bro.
That's why I'm gonna hammer YouTube, man. If I got from January, March, April. That's only 4 months, but I can do it. I'll figure out a way. Yeah. And then she'll be able to stay out there with me.
Oh, sick, bro.
That'd be my goal.
I was gonna say one thing that you said that is like so relatable. It's probably relatable for a lot of people at home. Or well, not even relatable, but inspiring as well for some of the people listening. But the fact that you did for 2 years straight, you were doing all these modeling jobs for free. Like, we've been in that situation where we're going and doing work for free. Like, just having that faith that eventually it's going to work is impressive, man. Bro.
Definitely.
It's like building up a portfolio as well as also like building your skill set, putting yourself in that environment. So when you turn up to something that's paid, you know where to be, how to move, how to act. Where's this going? Where's that? You're organized, you're on top. And it's like, why? Because I've put myself through this process so many times. When LeBron James goes to make a free throw, 9 times out of 10, maybe 9.9 times out of 10, he's going to hit it. Yeah. Why? Because he trusts in himself that I've hit this shot so many times, that repetition has happened so many times that I can't miss.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't think that it's even that. I think the most important thing was that it shows that you really love what you're doing, bro.
Yeah, I think that's a
I
big
actually
part
think
of it.
that. Yeah.
'Cause even last night, the acting job I did last night, imagine my call time was 10:30. We didn't wrap till 1:30. Luckily, I stayed in London, but if normally you'd have to drive back to Birmingham,
Yeah,
whatever. But like, I won't see any money from that. I'll break even just what I spend on food and traveling there back.
You
and
love
forth.
what you do, bro.
But that, and then again, but like technically, if you look at it on paper, it's a step back because it was I did like a student film last night. But the role I get is not a role that I'd normally get if I was to do like a big budget thing because I always pay the same thing. My agent told me do it, add it to your show reel, and all that stuff. And I was just like, yeah, just swallow your pride and do whatever it takes to move forward.
What is your normal
I play the
character
same
you
role,
play?
just drug dealer.
It's like The Rock. How
Yeah, I
he
was
always
just about to
plays
say
the
The Rock
guy.
just plays The Rock in every film.
Exactly. Because I'm so heavily tattooed as well. So my agent said to me that like I'm never gonna be able to fit in with industry standards. So she's gonna try her hardest to make me stand out.
That's actually a sick approach.
Yeah, innit? So she gave me loads. We had like a really good meeting. And she gave me loads of examples of how we're gonna do it. Like instead of The Rock was The Rock in wrestling before we went over, and Jason Statham plays the same character and everything. You know what I'm saying? And there's that famous model that was like established model before she moved over. So she was like, maybe we're gonna build you up in regards to like presenting and Instagram and social media, and you'll be this Shaun Pelayo, and then you can. Otherwise, I'm never gonna get a main role.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm always gonna be the supporting person. Which again, I'm still.
What's the goal? Do you want to do films?
Yeah, 100%.
What's your dream
My
part?
dream-
Like out of like franchises or films that are there today, if they were to make a sequel. Or
Have you seen Southpaw?
yeah.
Yeah, you know that role when he's like a boxer down.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like, but the way he handles
down
it
to
all,
the
bro,
slumps.
Like, his
Yeah.
acting
Southpaw's
is
a
incredible.
fucking good film, bro.
It's an emotional film, bro. When
Trust
his
me.
wife dies, bro.
Yeah,
It's
bro.
tough to watch.
That's but when you watch it, you're like, yeah, how he handles it. When he's at the end of the bed with the gun and he's like screaming and stuff. And he's got a daughter. You're like, yeah. If I was in that situation, you'd have that same mindset in it.
Yeah.
How do you like go into character, bro? I'm interested because I've said it to you a few times. I said to my mom, like, not to say I'm gonna like be the main character in like a big budget film, but I'd like to have a cameo in something one day. I think that'd be sick. Like, what's it like going into character, bro?
Well, like for me, I'm still learning myself. It's been a few years, but luckily every role I've had to do is not that much. Not that I'm a drug dealer or a bad man, but like switching on the bad boy thing, you just act like some of your friends. It's like.
Everyone can put on that. Shut up, man.
Yeah, it's like that type of stuff.
Wait,
Yeah.
I don't mean to like make you out to be a parrot now, but can you fall into character? I'm just
Yeah,
curious,
yeah,
like
yeah.
right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
Nah, man.
No, I
just-
was curious, bro. I love stuff like that.
I could I was this close to my breakthrough role. That was when I had to learn something. It was for a BBC series, and basically like it would be playing this person that existed already, but I fit the exterior perfectly, like literally the same height, same physique, tattoos. But he was Mexican. He was like one of them like cartel gangster guys.
Yeah.
But I had to learn his voice. So like I did the first stage of audition, second stage. Then they sent me his audio of his actual voice. So I learned his tone of voice, which I've never done before. And then I spent 3 days just watching like every Mexican gangster film possible. And then we got down to the final 2 people. It would have been filming abroad as well and everything. And then it's crazy, man. Like I was in the girl that I was seeing at the time. You have to do like self-tape one and I set it up in her kitchen. So I had like barely no space off camera. And there are like 4 scenes there to run through, like on the spot. They're like, okay, first one, you have to act like you've off your head on coke and this and that. I've never done it in my life, but I just acted like I was in the movie. And then the 4th scene, they were like, you walk into your jail cell, your whole gang's abandoned you. You've got no more money left. You're thinking about ending it all. Go. But you have to be a hard gangster at the same time.
You have to improvise words.
Well, I didn't know what to do because I can't make myself cry or anything like that. So I just started like punching the wall and stuff and
smashing up the girl's kitchen.
But yeah, they said that they love me, but I didn't get that part. I've been down to the final 2 like 3 times for my big breaks, but it's all learning in it.
Yeah, 100%,
bro. But it's like that consistency, bro. Like you'll eventually get to where you need to be.
Exactly.
And
And
as
even
well-
get down to the final 2. It's a
The
big
mentality of you saying like getting down to the final 2 is sick, and I'll just keep going.
Yeah.
It's like there's gonna be one that you get to the top one.
deal. And then that'll be the reason why.
Yeah.
It's always the one that you don't expect as well. Like that break. It's always like, it's nothing. We'll go. Like we'll just do it. Why not? And then it always ends up being something crazy.
What would your dream role be?
What if I was to act?
Yeah.
Hate
think
you want
like
to play The Rock,
I was gonna say like an action character. I think I'd suit that.
like a superhero or some shit.
Nah, not a superhero. Something like real life. Like I don't know, like
John Wick.
like a. Not quite John Wick, but like to do with like guns, like maybe like a military film or something, like an action character, like saving the world or some shit.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I think I
that'd be
could
sick.
do that. get up like SAS vest on and everything.
That'd be sick, man.
I feel like playing a Kevin Hart role would be some fun shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I was always
Can
like,
you do comedy as well?
But I did not me. I'm not the funny one, but you know how like in 21 Jump Street, there's like Channing Tatum, who's like the cool guy.
Yeah.
And then there's someone that just like, but his reactions are kind of funny.
Yeah.
It was I booked a Paddy Power commercial like 2 years ago, and it was like 6 adverts filmed, but Love Island themed. So they had like, I think there was like 3 or 4 like beautiful female models in the villa, and then I played the good looking guy with my top off type thing, and then they had 2 like just out of shape comedians.
That's such an L as well. If you're a person, you get casted to be the out of shape, like fugly person.
But like, because I think the director had
Fat actor next to his name and that. In brackets.
The director had worked with these 2 like comedians before. He trusted them, so the comedic thing was me and all the girls are there like looking all Love Island-y, like oil and next to the thing, and these 2 guys walk in like what they kind of walked into the wrong villa, because it's like the Love Island music's on and they've got like their flippers on and their sausage roll, but they're so funny. So like they'll do stuff to your face, but you have to act like the cool guy, like you did. And did it, and as soon as they say it's a rap, everyone bursts out laughing. Yeah. That was my experience with the comedy stuff. That was like man, I was like, I can't even get paid for this. Like I'm literally just with beautiful girls. And
in terms of like, I want to go like a little bit deeper with the convo. Yeah. And in terms of like, because I mean, we experience it all the time. The amount of no's that you get, and I'm sure that you've experienced it as well, bro. Ridiculous amount. How do you deal with them, bro?
Well, I still get them like all the time. Like I get in my feelings all the time at night time in regards to like not progressing. I know like to like my standard, I want to progress more. So I'll just literally like I'll go on autopilot and I'll start using ChatGPT. I'll reach out to bare agencies and bare random stuff, and then like I'll just randomly throughout the week just get emails like no. Just like
the no replies back to them.
I'm more used to those. Like it's the same thing. Like I always look at them as lessons, not losses. So
I think it's probably one of the hardest things is when you know that you're trying to do everything like in your power that you possibly can at that time, but then nothing's progressing. You feel like you're standing still.
100%.
I think that's probably the hardest part of the process.
Yeah, definitely. But I think this year has been my slowest year in regards to like it's because like. Basically, I turned 30, and then when I turned 30, I'd already achieved everything in modelling. I got into that thing in acting, and when I turned 30, I had this pressure to start making like I wanted to be a millionaire. Well, I still want to be a millionaire now, and I never put my mind towards that before. So then I started like I told you guys, like a media company. Realized I didn't want to do it. Then I started like looking into Amazon FBA, then headwear thing, and then this and that, and then. Yeah, we got an office at the beginning of the year, and like things are put in place. But like with the modeling and acting, it's like instant gratification. Like I go to a casting, if I get casted, I shoot it, I get paid. A month later, 2 months later. Yeah. But this, it's like it's just constant registering, waiting for this to get validated. Then you have to do this, then you have to put it out, and then it's like there's no like things straight away. So I don't see how much I've progressed.
Yeah.
So it's like it's difficult, man, because you don't feel like you're moving forward. But then when you speak to people, they're like, "What are you doing now?" And you say all these projects you got on. Whoa. It just sounds lit, but like the reality of it is like my money's just going out. There's nothing really coming in.
When you actually, sorry to cut you up, but when you actually say your goals or what you're doing at the time, it actually releases more dopamine than when you actually achieve those goals.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So it's like one place that people get twisted in. And it's like I've been there in the past where you tell people everything that you're gonna do, and it feels 10 times better than when you're actually doing it.
Yeah,
it's like a habit. Like I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, but then you're not actually putting in the work. Like, there's been things like that in the past for us.
I think going back to what you said about feeling like you're not progressing is actually something that's just built into you because you are destined for those great things.
Yeah,
because we've been going now for about a year full on with everything that we've got going on. And what we've achieved in a year is amazing.
Yeah.
We've achieved some things that a lot of people might not even achieve in their lifetime in a business or whatever. But we still feel like we're done fuck all. Yeah. Because this where we want to get to, we're still so far from.
Yeah.
So that always demanding more from yourself, always wanting more from yourself, always feeling like I'm not getting to the place I want to get to is also that kind of that thing that keeps you going and makes you brilliant.
100%.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Also, like, I think it's like, you know, they say comparison is a theft of all joy.
Yeah.
And when you like, you guys must see other podcasts and they're getting these 30 guests on.
Yeah,
you're thinking like that guy's not even asking sick questions. Like they're set up as shit. Like why are they getting these opportunities? I'm not. That's how I feel all the time with stuff. I'm like, why do I always have to work extra hard to get something? And then it looks as if this other person's just walked into it and they've just got it without even wanting it as bad as I did. But
I think I used to compare myself a lot. Like not so much with the podcast. When it came to the agency, I'd compare myself to other people a lot. But I kind of realized as really early into my journey with everything we've got going on now, like kind of started before I started realizing, but just not to compare myself to no one. It's like when you just like take things slow, one foot in front of another, realize that the process is slow, the journey's slow. It's not a fast thing. It's going to take probably 5 to 10 years, 20 years even. But like, you just keep going. You block out everything else. You're tunnel visioned, and you're so much more likely to actually get to where you want to get to. It's toxic to compare yourself. I find, anyways.
No, I feel that, man. But sometimes it's difficult, innit? Sometimes
it does get
open
difficult.
Your phone, it's just all there.
Well, you see it.
Yeah.
It's there, and like you've got access to it all the time.
Yeah.
And if anything, if that's how you tick, more often than not, that's what's going to come up on your phone, because the algorithms are so clever. It just sends you stuff that you like in the same space. And I hear it, bro. But it's part and parcel, man. We chose this life. It didn't choose us.
Exactly.
We chose to be a couple of G's, man. Do you know what I mean?
Where'd you in like 10 years, bro? Where do you see yourself?
That's a good question,
in terms of
man.
everything, obviously, because you said about that you want to do everything with the businesses and stuff like that, and there's maybe like you got the hats going on at the moment and stuff like that, the headwear brand even. But it's like, where do you see yourself
in 10 years? Hopefully, I'd have
Couple M's in the bank.
a few mil, couple sons, and then living. I want all of my family to be taken care of. That's the first and foremost.
Yeah.
Career wise, probably America. At this point in my life, because I'm going Philippines next. I feel like I've achieved everything I want to do here. I'll go Philippines next. It'll take me. The goals I'm going to set there is like ridiculous, like heavy goals.
Can I ask why the Philippines? Because I can imagine acting and like modeling isn't as big there as it would be in the UK.
Well, there's a massive hole in the market for me there. So I'm Filipino now. I'm half Filipino.
Yeah.
I went out there last Jan for the first time since being like an adult. Because I grew up between here and there. Like we used to go out there every year and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But I went there as like a adult this time. But on the first day I was there, I went viral, like on the news viral.
what is in like in the Philippines?
Yeah, because basically there's like, so there's a thing called Sinologue, which is like carnival for England. Carnival, sorry, but times 100. It's like the biggest thing, and like if the people, the dancers who do the parades and stuff, if they win funding for the whole year. So they put their life and soul into it, and it's like a big cultural thing. Everyone comes out dressed up, blah blah blah. Anyway, that's called Sinologue. That's every January on the island my mum's from, and there's also a warrior out there called Lapu Lapu, who in our history, when the Spanish first invaded, he was this warrior that like he won the first battle. Like in the end, we lost, but he won that first battle, and there's like cities named after him. He's like this huge icon out there, and in reality, like he's actually this small chubby Filipino man, but through history, like the statues built of him, he's this like 6 foot. Like athletic build. Well, I resemble what he looks like. I look like the statues. So when I was there, I asked my mum to ask our cousin to like create the outfit for me, because it's like a very specific outfit.
So you look like a
So when I went out there, but it's crazy. I didn't know I was gonna get that response. So like I just wanted to get a sick Instagram video, if I'm honest, of like obviously putting my Lapu Lapu on the map, representing my culture. I just wanted to get a sick background. My mum put in the final beads around my neck, me standing up next to her. It's
looking like a bit of a beast in that as well. Yeah.
And then literally, we went downstairs in reception to do it, because it had all the traditional stuff there. Swarmed by like hundreds of people straight away, and I was like, "Well, that was a bit weird." We didn't even leave the hotel. I didn't even leave the hotel at this point. I just got to the hotel, and then I was like, "Okay, let me get to the heart of Sinologue." Well, I went to the heart of it. It was crazy. I couldn't walk from like here to there without being swarmed by people. Like, and I can't say no.
Everybody
to anyone.
like taking photos of you as well.
Everyone told me to take photos, calling me Lapu Lapu, everything like this, and then. At one point, like my face was hurting so much of smiling. Yeah. Because every photo, like it was literally like relentless.
Started to feel the aches here and there.
And then we did 40 hours of traveling before this, so it was just like I didn't sleep at this point. Tried to go into a shopping mall to like thought I might calm down. The shopping mall was a shut down, people screaming, this and that. And then I was like, okay. So anyway, the next day, I'm not in the outfit no more in my normal clothes. So I thought, so that was just like
it's gonna be calm.
Yeah. Well, but that footage from that day went on the news. So the next morning when I went to get food, it was the same thing. People were like, I seen you, da-da-da-da. And then from that moment, like every TikTok I posted went viral. Everything out there I did, like everything I touched, everywhere I went, like people shout and stuff. So it was sick. And then from there I went to go to Bascalan, which is to get a traditional tattoo. Which for me, like when I was at
Where
uni,
they like hammer it in, innit?
yeah, when I was
Sick.
at uni, there's
But
this,
like they get sorry.
It's like a
Yeah,
needle with like
bamboo,
ink
like-
on it, and they like hammer it in, bro, whilst they're drawing, bro,
Yeah.
like into your skin. Like it pierces the skin.
Does it hurt?
nah, but she's the lady that did it. Yeah, she's the last living traditional artist.
I've actually seen her on it. She's bare
They're
old.
old. She's 106 years old.
Yes, bro. I've
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
a video of her doing it. That's
Yeah.
how I know. Yeah, sick.
So she's the last one. So she used to tattoo like actual warriors and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I learned about it when I was at uni, I was like, this is on my bucket list. Have to go. It's 11 years in the making. This was.
Mm-hmm.
So I traveled there by myself. I got like a boat, a flight, a tricycle, a 10-hour. I hired it myself. A 10-hour private taxi to the bottom of the mountain,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have to hike to the top of the mountain, and then you have to like get approved. So like it's this part of the tradition. She has to test your manhood. So she'll grab your balls to see if you're manly enough to like.
How the
get
fuck
the
do you know
tattoo.
from
How
your
did she
balls, bro?
decide?
I don't know. Luckily, I was like warming myself up as I was going towards her. Yeah.
My boy was giving himself a stiffy and that. He was like, just in case.
But then she didn't check mine, which is random. Like normally she checks everyone.
just-
She
knew
saw
she
you and
looked
thought you were
like-
Lulu. What is it, Lulu?
Lappy lappy.
Lappy
Yeah,
lappy
yeah.
straight away.
If she would touch it, she'd be disappointed, man. I was cold that day.
Strong.
Yeah, she
And
sees
then-
it. Boom.
Well, then that
He is
video went
good.
viral, bro. Mad viral. That one did like across the different pages did like 25 million views.
Wait, her giving you a tattoo?
Yeah,
Bro, that might have been your video that
probably
I saw
was,
then.
man. That's,
Did you make a mini vlog out of
Yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah.
And you said I went to like the
Yeah,
oldest.
yeah, yeah.
Bro, that was your video.
Yeah. So I went
Fucking mad, bro. That's so
well,
sick.
mad viral, man. So like, so now I've got this huge Filipino audience, and then I came back to England and I got offered like a sick contract out there, and then I was in England, yeah, and I was just like, bro, it's cold, it's wet, the cost of living's up, high, people, the whole like,
He was like
Well-
JB over there, bro. He
Yeah,
came back and was
bro.
like, fuck's sake again.
innit? Then like the woke generation stuff and all the bullshit that's happening right now. I'm looking around, I'm like, why am I here?
It's not the place to be right
Yeah, and
now.
I've done
man.
everything I needed to do here. Like I've achieved everything I want to do. There's nothing keeping me ticking here. Like
What do you think
apart
that
from
England
acting.
doesn't offer?
doesn't offer.
Yeah, compared to
Apart-
these other places.
The everything. Like in terms of I think it'd be easy to do with what they do offer. The thing that
Okay.
they do offer is like I say safety in regards to like not in regards to being robbed or stuff, but in
Yeah.
regards to like, you know, your food has to go through every like governing approval.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff like
Oh,
that. And
bro.
even that's all processed and stuff, I know. But things like
As well, the NHS.
yeah,
If
things
you
like
ever
that.
go broke, really, you're not going to be on the street. You can
Things like that,
apply for
yeah.
like, yeah.
It's actually tough to live like a holistic lifestyle in England. It actually is.
I think for somebody with low aspirations, it's like happy and just being content, like the UK is good for that.
Yeah.
But for somebody with high aspirations that wants to break the barrier, it's like they're trying to make the barrier harder for you to break.
100%.
I kind of think that I disagree with you though, man, because there is a lot of opportunity in this country, and that's why so many people from around the world will come here. Big or small aspirations.
I'm not saying there's not opportunity. I'm just saying that it's harder to take advantage of those opportunities. If you
But in
compare
somewhere like Cyprus, though, where we're from, I could imagine it being a lot harder.
100%, bro. But I'm not comparing the UK to Cyprus now.
Yeah.
Birmingham's bigger than Cyprus.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, if you compare the UK to somewhere, let's just say Dubai, because it's the first place that comes
Yeah.
to my mind,
Dubai's winning every metric.
they're
innit?
pushing
Yeah.
you to break the boundaries. You want to be a business owner? Great. You're not going to pay any tax. Come and do everything you can in our city because we want you here. It's like, do you know what I mean? Then the weather, then the other like-minded individuals around you, then the opportunities that come with wealthy people in and around you, circles to motivate you, all of these types of things. In the UK, bro, you're doing well, and the person next to you more often than not's looking over your shoulder thinking, why him, not me?
Yeah.
Not how can we work together and go bigger or better, or
Yeah.
like, do you know what I'm
I
saying?
hear that. I hear that. But like the UK as a whole, I think it's unfair to compare them to Dubai because Dubai is that place. Do you know what I mean? Like
It's
Dubai is
just-
like the capital of like entrepreneurship or like big aspirations like in the whole world.
Yeah,
on,
maybe.
you're on
And
that.
there's so much control here as well, isn't there?
Yeah.
I think that's the
Especially
issue.
since post, like, I don't know if I'd say it, but post.
Yeah, you can
flu,
say it.
common-
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you say? The flu?
Yeah, post flu.
Oh, bro, absolute fucking bollocks, man.
Bro, I'm telling you, man. Now they can like track every single thing, cashless, like
Bro, something like 3% of the world's money is like physical money.
yeah.
Do you know how much bollocks that is? Like, how do you truly know? Yeah. So, like, all your money is numbers on the screen. Like, how do you truly know that? Like, it's not like a Fugazi, bro. That it's not fake. Like, even the money that they're spending on all of these things, whether it's roadworks or like importing stuff, like, it's not fucking real.
Yeah.
It's not physical no more. You're like,
Fugazi.
no, it's fucked, though, bro. It's fucked.
It's true, bro. It's true. And how much do you know? How can it hold its value and its worth if they can just make it? Do you know what I mean? Like
and they can just take it.
yeah,
That's the worst thing. I mean, that kind of happened in Cyprus a few. I'm going back to Cyprus a few times now, but it kind of happened in Cyprus, bro. Like the country was in debt, and like they took like 50% of your money.
What?
Yeah, bro. Like my granddad, like saved his whole life, bro. Like retired like semi-early, and they just took 50% of the money in his bank account. Fucked, bro. And this was like 10 years ago. Never mind now.
That's mad. That's mad.
that was when the whole Bank of Cyprus thing happened, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Cyprus had their own currency, and then they just got rid of it as well, and it was fucked.
I think even now, like how they're pushing you to have an electric car, and they can turn it off like at any point.
Take
bro.
you to prison whenever you want to go to, like,
Oh,
bro,
bro.
anything, man.
These self-driving cars as well, they're going to start thinking what happens when you put a route in. It's like, nah, you ain't going there. You're going somewhere else.
Oh,
What are you going to do?
Isn't it in? Is it China or Japan where like they have like a social rating system?
Well, yeah, that's China. It's crazy.
What?
They've even got this thing now, yeah, where, well, I don't know if this is how true it is. I've seen it online. But, like, the kids are wearing something around their head when they're in school to monitor their concentration levels.
Bro.
And it's like, then they can, like...
It's like a Black Mirror episode, bro.
Well, I'm telling you, man.
Literally.
They're definitely going to overtake all of us. Like, look what are we doing in school? Just teaching them about, like, 12 genders.
Yeah, for real, bro.
Yeah.
Quickly to describe the social rating thing. Have you actually
There is a
seen
Black
the-
Mirror episode
Yeah,
where
there
people
actually
leave
is.
reviews on you.
Literally
And
like that, bro.
Yeah.
bro. And then like that one girl, like she does something shit, and then everyone's looking at her in the office
bro.
like she's a
Yeah.
dickhead.
And
innit?
your social rating will determine like how far you can travel, like in the country, like certain things that you can do and stuff
That's
like that.
so true.
The amount of
So
money
fucked.
that you can spend, like it's fucked, bro.
It's so fucked, bro.
I think one thing
Full
that England,
control.
I think the one thing that England isn't good for is the woke culture. It's one of the most woke places
Yeah.
in the whole world, man.
Oh,
Coming
it's
into a
jarring,
scary
man.
time, man.
Yeah.
We actually are coming into a scary time, bro.
I sent this to my brother on the phone before I got here, and I was saying that, like, I feel like this winter is going to be like maybe one of the lowest winters in like, modern history for UK, like in terms of like the like rates of depression and everything and mental
They
health
said
stuff.
why?
Just because, like, think about all the woke stuff that's going on recently,
Mm-hmm.
coupled with the cost of living going up and all the lack of opportunities and stuff like that. I don't know, bro. I can't imagine.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
bro. I hear what you're saying, man.
There's another big factor why I want to leave, man.
Yeah.
How,
I don't
how,
know. Go on.
sorry, go.
Go on.
No, you go.
I was gonna say, and you're just going home as well, bro.
Yeah.
You're going home where you're valued, quite obviously, where you're in touch with your culture. I can imagine you're gonna be happier because you're gonna be around your mom a lot more,
Exactly, man.
and then you can lock in on you, get ready for your next step.
Exactly. But I'm going to do like a minimum of 6 months at first. So I'll do 6 months and then I'll weigh up options and come back. So I'm not going to sell up all my stuff here at first.
Yeah.
So 6 months and then,
I think it's so amazing as well that you actually have, like, you can do that.
yeah.
You can just pick up and be like, I ain't got no job. I ain't got nothing that's saying to me, you can't do this, you can't do that. It's like, I'm going to go live there for 6 months and I'm
Yeah.
going to give it a crack. Why the fuck not?
Exactly.
Love
man.
that.
I feel like I've always like, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, be scared of like society norms. So like, you know, the whole 40-40 thing, you work 40 hours a week for 40 years of your life to get taxed 40% for someone else's empire.
To only make 40k a year as well.
Yeah, but it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I've never been able to like get into that mindset, and I'm thinking like, why? I know I've got a lot of good friends that have got that mindset, and they're happy with that. But I've never been content and happy with
It's
that.
not
Like,
you, bro.
Yeah, like I need
fulfill you.
I need more, man. I need new challenges. I need to just constantly push myself to my, because like, you know, as soon as you get outside your comfort zone, I know you've probably heard this a million times, different things, but like as soon as you like accomplish whatever it is outside that comfort zone, the growth and the endorphins get released afterwards. You just that's what makes you feel alive. I feel that's
See,
like my purpose.
That adversity is either gonna break you or you're just gonna progress massively.
Yeah.
Bro. Literally, that's it. I don't know. I always say this to you. I get such a satisfaction for going after something that's incredibly hard and then like achieving that goal.
The best feeling, man. Especially when it's like a physical thing as well. I've done a
H
couple.
just did a marathon and then the week after did a half marathon.
Really?
Back to back.
I didn't want to say because we spoke about it on the pod, and I don't like to like just tell people anymore. When I first booked marathon, I was telling everyone.
No,
but
tell
yeah.
everyone, bro. That's a sick thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, I did
and
that,
it's
bro.
just me. He's basically. I was gonna do one anyway, but he inspired
Yeah.
our group. We've just booked a half marathon for like our whole group chat in
That's
February.
sick.
I think probably the most satisfying thing for me is like the amount of messages that I've been getting, the amount of people reaching out, just asking about like running, bro, and like
Yeah.
I've made them start running. Like one of our boys bumped into two Greek guys that we know the other day, and he said to him like, "Hey, just a fucking animal." Like he's inspired me to start running. Like that's fucking sick.
Well,
bro.
it's
That's
true,
satisfaction.
man. It's so true. Like loads of my friends, one of my good friends is KB, owns a gym in Birmingham.
Shout out KB.
Yeah, bro. He started running. There's loads of running stuff, man. And then I see a story. He started a running club, and then my next brethren, that's like this entrepreneur guy. He's in it, and they're comparing times. And then I don't know whether when you start becoming recognized and stuff, you see it everywhere. Then I'm seeing like all these people that I watch. Like I watched the Tyson thing, and they're just talking about the importance of running.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, like, bro, I need to start running, man. There's obviously it's a thing that
So good for you, bro.
yeah. And then one of my boys does videography for like a few people that are really big in like that type of world, like extreme sports and we call triathlons and stuff. And he like films all that stuff. I'm like, nah, there's something that I'm missing, so I need to start doing it. That's why I said when I get back, I'm gonna start boxing stuff.
Yeah. You should get into fucking running, bro. I promise you, like, if you enjoy like doing something adverse and then like overcoming the adversity, like
Do you listen to music when you run?
I used to. I don't anymore.
No. Well, how can you stop?
This is nicer, bro. Like, do you in your own time will you just go out on a walk, like when no
Barely,
headphones?
but yeah.
You know that feeling though of like everything's simple. You got some time to yourself. Like you can just think.
Yeah.
That's what it's like when you run. Like
That's
at the marathon, I did fucking 4.5 hours, like no headphones or anything.
That's sick.
I was with my boy as well doing it, but still no headphones.
Me, that's tough. I need like a Rocky montage in the
But you,
background.
but I guarantee you though, once you stop listening to headphones, like you'll understand like how enjoyable running is. It's pure its form. It's
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I want to change up the topic away from running. I want to ask you, what, in your opinion, should a man be?
Man, I feel like to be a high value man, you need to be the best version of yourself, physically, mentally, spiritually, career wise. Support your family, have like morally, have good morals, and stand for something. So I believe if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
What do you stand for?
For me, I stand for someone that comes from nothing, that has proven to people around me and made something out of myself. And I've never sold out of anything. I've been offered so many things to sell my soul in regards to like when I was at my brokest. Like I skipped some of my story. Like when I was on the way up, I was at my brokest. Just offered money to like sell pictures or to do certain things that I would never do if I wasn't in that position, and I just never did it. So then now, like when I'm in this position, I'm offered even more money. Like if I just gave my phone right now and look for my request, the amount of money I can make from doing like stuff that was just selling your soul, like I would never do that. Just 'cause I know where I'm going, and I know like I'm representing my mum, I'm representing my dad, I'm representing my future sons and daughters. Like I'm so aware of where I'm gonna be that they can never look back and pull me up on anything that I've done.
That's so dope, man.
Yeah.
I'm guessing like the stuff that you're saying is like going down like the OnlyFans path and all that kind of stuff. Like someone like you, bro, 6'2", 6'1", tatted up, handsome, tall, dark, handsome, make your fucking killing, bro. But respectfully, like that's not shameless, isn't it? Really,
it is, bro.
It's shameless.
And then also I'm quite vocal about how my opinion on like females that do it. So how could I ever give an opinion? And not live it
I want you to get vocal with me, bro. Tell me what.
So I think at one point in time, you know how like the society is making this OnlyFans thing a norm for females now. At one point in time, society was trying to make it a norm to say that smoking was healthy. There was doctors on TV saying smoking's healthy until you've seen the long-term effects. Like we haven't seen any of the long-term effects of OnlyFans stuff. And what I believe is going to happen is all these OnlyFans girls that go ahead and have sons, well, especially sons, they're going to get absolutely violated in school to the point where I think their mental health is going to be massively affected. They're going to be starting at the bottom of the pecking order, and there's going to be like a rise in suicides and everything like that. Because you think about it, all lads, like, is one of your friends got a fit sister or a fit mum? Like, how badly do you violate that guy just for having like a hot mum? Imagine now if you can like pay a $5 to like see a pum pum.
The craziest thing, I saw a clip from this podcast. I think the podcast might even be Birmingham based. I can't remember though. Anyways, and they had an OnlyFans girl on, and she like said basically that one of her kids' friends like found the OnlyFans and was like taking a piss out of them or like sent it them or something. And like he was at school and like he came home and he was devastated. Do you understand how fucked that is, bro?
Oh,
could you imagine you start violating one of the boys at school and then they just all they have to do is just pull up your mum's or your like sister's OnlyFans or something?
Oh, it's crazy.
That is a wild.
Bro, what did El Brook went on Piers Morgan?
Yeah, it said, "Oh, you cry in a Ferrari." Shut up,
bro.
Man.
He was like, "What's your kids
Oh,
gonna
such
think?"
an
It was like they
idiot.
can cry in a Ferrari, like broski, like.
Well, these
And the
women,
thing-
they got their values are so wrong.
The thing is,
man.
is who's the guy that's gonna marry?
Yeah.
Like one of these
They'll-
girls. It's fucked, bro.
But you'll always find one of them guys, man. Them like weak
Yeah, this is what I was gonna say. It's gonna be a guy. There's gonna be one always,
Yeah.
but they just won't be a guy like us.
But they're never going to be satisfied though.
Who's not gonna be
The woman.
satisfied? It's all right, bro. She goes to her day job and gets satisfied anyway. So
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's true. I've actually never heard someone put the whole OnlyFans thing, though, the way that you put it and compared it to smoking and stuff like that. Like, we don't actually know the effects yet, which
Well, that's
is
what I'm
so
saying,
true.
man. It's true. And of them, and then their kids are gonna be them like another. The kids will grow up to be them weak men that then the OnlyFans girls married, and it's just like a whole cycle of just these weak, like these people that are gonna be the ones that do like the school shootings or turn into pedos or just abuse girls, and they're just weak, man.
They're just not thinking about the future, bro, and like the family values, bro, that they want to have at home. Because I can guarantee you, there's not one of them who wish that their kids are gonna get violated.
Yeah,
They're just being like
You
blind
say
to
that,
it.
You say that they don't have the family values and stuff like that, though. But who's to say that those guys, well, those girls and guys, just weren't brought up with those family values? Hence, why they've gone down the path that they've gone into, because they never had a strong mother and father figure to basically.
I hear you.
Do you know what I mean? So it's just going to be another generation, and they're just using a different set of tool sets.
that, you know what? This is gonna be something I have to tread carefully when I say, but like, there's such a noticeable. Obviously, I'll start this. Okay, so I've been with like quite a lot of women in my life. I've been close to quite a lot of women.
Good man.
And yeah, this guy
This guy fucks. That's our new like personal joke, like on the pod thing. We just this guy fucks.
But I've been close to a lot of women, yeah, and then like obviously, I think all women are beautiful, but I normally end up with like a mixed race girl, like normally just mixed black and white. And a lot of the time, it's the stereotypical story of like they got a white mum and they got a black dad, but the dad's not about, which is not often, but the majority of the time that's the case. And the girls, the ones that haven't got the dad about, they do not know how to conduct themselves and there's so much stuff that's like deep rooted, like psychology with communication, with things like that, in comparison to the most recent ones, the couple ones I've been with where they had their dad around. It's like they know exactly what to expect from me. They know like what they want in a relationship and how they think I should conduct myself, and it makes the relationship run so much more smoothly.
You saying that's actually just reminded me. I was listening to a podcast the other day. I don't know if you follow the Full Send boys, the Nelk boys.
Yeah, I think so.
You know Steiny. Anyway, you know Steiny, innit?
Yeah.
Steiny's got his own podcast. One of the guys that's within there, and he had Sneeko on there.
Yeah.
And Sneeko said, the girls that I want to be with, they have to have a strong father figure in their life. Because the same way that they respect their father is the way that I would expect them to respect me.
Yeah.
And if they don't have that, they don't know how to conduct themselves around a man like me, because they never had a man in their life ever. So the girls that I'm going to be taken seriously with are very respectful to their father, have learned a lot of lessons from their father. And it goes back generations, bro. Like, you would always listen to your dad in the house, bro.
Yeah.
That's just... Why? Because that's what he was there to do. You look up to your dad, you respect your dad, you listen to your dad. And your mom's there to be caring for you, to nurture you, etc. But if that's not in the dynamic from a young age, how are you going to respect your partner when he wants to do the things that your dad should have been there to do when you were a child? Do you know what I mean? So it's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
What do you think the importance is of having that father there for a son as well?
Yeah.
Because for me, obviously I've never been without my dad, but I think that I can see that that's probably even more important.
Yeah. See, my dad's a good dad. He's a sick dad. He's but my dad had no ambition. Like, so from early, one of the first things he told me was like, the difference between me and him was I got so much ambition. Because even when I was like a little kid, I'd want to be like I wanted to be a football player, and then I wanted to be you know, like Steve Irwin, like National Geographic person. Like whatever, I was just like,
What do you mean?
Steve, the guy that did the crocodile stuff, Steve Irwin.
Oh,
Steve Irwin. Steve Irwin. Anyway, him. But I was like, you know what I mean? Like, I just had so much ambition, no matter what
Your
I
pops
wanted.
was just content.
Yeah, he just my dad. My whole life, my dad's been on benefits type thing, and he's not like the most like masculine man. So I feel like, you know, when you wanna give what you didn't get, or like a lot of times, like things that you know what I mean. So then when I have my son, like, you know how like Khabib, how he talks about his dad, making him wrestle bears, fighting every day. Like, that's what type of, I want my son to have it hard. I want him to be like physically just strong. Like get him in boxing from early and just be like a beast.
And as well from the outside, he'll be physically strong, but those lessons and those things will make him strong here, which I think is actually more important.
One of my goals, bro, is like to be able to like train like hard like with my son, bro. Like that's a sick feeling, bro. Like imagine if I did a fucking marathon with my son. That'd be fucked.
Did you see recently that a guy won an award at an NBA show, and he goes, "This award I dedicate to my dad." No, he got up on stage and he won like MVP for the season or something.
Oh, what,
like
Dwayne
that.
Wade?
Was it? It might have been.
Yeah, and he said because he outscored his dad as well.
For all those times that I didn't want to go to training, you made me. For all those times you were shooting hoops with me, for this award isn't for me, it's for us.
Yeah.
And the dad gets up on stage and bro, it gave me goosebumps, bro.
Yeah,
like
man.
that's such an amazing thing, and you can see like Dwayne Wade, you said, is a product of his dad's morals and everything that he instilled into him.
Yeah.
Like, bro, that's an amazing thing, bro, to be able to create your offspring, the best version of your offspring,
and you can put all your philosophies into them.
Yeah, and them to reap the rewards of it, and then to recognize it and be like, you know what, that's because of you, G.
Yeah,
like, that's amazing, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So amazing. You would actually love that clip. It's such an amazing clip.
Yeah.
What type of dad do you want to be, bro?
I want to be like a combination of
Sorry.
I want to be a combination. You know, like Michael Kyle from My Wife and Kids.
Yeah.
So similar to that in terms of humor stuff, but like. Yeah. For me, I just want to be. I don't aspire to have the normal family. You know, like the wife and the kids. All them. Like I want my sons. I want to like. So in the Philippines, yeah, okay. When I was in the Philippines last time, I came across this girl on one of the islands and spent some time with her. And then she told me she had a son, and I was like, oh, I swear, where is he? And then she was like, oh, I sent him to the mountain lands so he can become more of a man. It's harder life up there. And I was like,
where?
To the mountains.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to become more of a man because there's no electricity. Like my mom did it. My mom did it when she was younger as well. And I was thinking like, because she was saying he became too dependent on me. I was like, right, like he was like 14. It was like 8 or something or 7. I forgot what she said now. And I'm like, yeah, that's incredible. Like I wanna just continue dominating, conquering whatever I'm doing, and then my son will be there living in the Philippines with my mum, my partner, whoever it is at the time, like around. If my brother's children, if my cousins, like just a group of them all together. And I just want to install like work ethic, training, being the best version of himself, everything like that. And then, and I don't want to give him any handouts either because I didn't get any handouts.
Yeah, I hear that, bro. Like that. But I think when you get to that situation, it will be a little bit different.
That's what I'll probably presume that I'll probably have the baby, and then you'll see me on Instagram. I'm like, oh, my whole life. Yeah, putting him like in a.
Listen, obviously not spoiling them to the point where they get absolutely everything that they ask for, bro. But like I can't sit here and say that me and you had the same upbringing because I realistically like coming up, bro. Like my dad worked hard and he got to a place where money was never really an issue or anything. So we kind of like we were good. And it's like, even though that was the case, like, I feel like I still came out a lot better than some of the guys that didn't.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's I don't think that it's that detrimental. You know how one of the things that I will disagree with how Tate and stuff like that, they say like my sons aren't going to get any hands out and stuff like that. Like they're not going to get anything from me. Everything that they get in life, they have to work for. Like to an extent, I understand. Like I do want to put my kid through adversity. Like I want him to be training from a very young age. But in terms of like, I feel like one of the reasons why I'm working so hard is partially because I want to be able to do all the coolest stuff that I possibly can for my kid. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel that. I think, because you can only live off like your personal experiences because I didn't have anything, so it's like that's the reason I did X, Y, Z. So I'm scared that if I gave my son everything that he wouldn't have that.
Actually, I saw a quote the other day. I pulled it up whilst you guys were speaking because like it really resonates with what you lot are saying. And I saw it, and I do this thing on Twitter where I do a CG's quote of the day. And it's something that I might have thought of or seen, and I'll post it just like as to keep track of my thoughts. And I seen it, and it really resonated with me. And it says, tough times create strong men, and strong men create easy times. Easy times create weak men, and then weak men create tough times.
Yeah.
And then the cycle repeats. The tough time will create another strong man, which will create easy times, which will create a weak man. So what you're saying is like, you're that strong man that's going to create easy times, but you're going to be like, well, the easy times are for me, bro, because I've been there and done it. But you're going to start again where I started because it worked out pretty well for me, type thing.
That's what I feel.
I hear that.
That's what I feel, I think. But again, like we don't know, man. Like, as soon as you have it, it's going to be different, isn't it?
I think what H is saying, like,
I think to an extent,
hard, you want to be able to give back. You said you want to give everything to your family here now, but effectively the one thing in the world that you'll cherish more than everything will be your son. So if you to be like, nah, G, you're going mountains, G. You're going mountains to do treadmill and bench press, bro, whilst I'm in the Bahamas. Like, oh no, man.
But there's different.
No, I hear it though, bro.
There's different pressures as well. Like basically, there's three of us. We've got like a friendship group, but three of us within that. Two of us, we come from nothing, so we hustle. That's where we get our like work ethic from. But the one of us, his dad made something of himself, but his dad comes from nothing, and he ended up like, I don't know what he did, got garages and he sold this, and now he's like got like these big car garages, and he's like got a network of a mill and stuff, but he gives no handout to his son. But we all have the equal pressure. So this guy, even though he comes from money, he's got a mad work ethic as well, because he feels the pressure to like impress his dad and make something of himself like his dad did.
I feel like that's kind of where I get it from, because I saw my dad grafting so hard so we got fish and chip shops, like the standard Greek thing to do, but my dad grew up with nothing. Like there's a photo of my dad and his family, and like it's just a little concrete box in Cyprus. But it's like I see how hard my dad works, and like that he came from nothing, and it's like that. I think that's what makes me work so hard, if that makes sense. Like it's like I want to mirror that.
Not only mirror it, but bro, everything that he did from nothing to get to step 10, why can't you go from step 10 to step 100?
Yeah, no, exactly.
And then why can't you instill the values into your son to take it from 100 to 1,000?
I mean, I've always said as well, it's like one of the biggest things is like, I want to be able to go to my old man one day and like, I don't know, like get him that Bentley that he wants, because like I know my dad wants those things, or like or like pay off his house mortgage if it's not paid by the time I can afford it.
You see the footage of Justin, what's he called? What's the cowboy guy that's always with the Tate Brothers called?
Yeah. Justin Waller.
Yeah, have you seen when he sat with his dad and paid off his house the other day?
No, but that's
sick
fucking cool.
Bro. He sat down, and his dad's like a proper man as well, so he didn't really know how to show gratitude properly. He just lights up a cigar, gives him the letter, and he's like, paid off everything. Sick, man.
Bro, that's got to be one of the coolest feelings in the world, bro.
Telling you,
it's so cliche as well, but like it has to be one of the coolest things you can possibly do.
That's what I imagine as a parent, bro. How proud, like, this is my little, I could literally hold you in my palm, and you just took away one of the biggest problems in my life, one of the biggest debts in my life, because of the person I raised. Like, it's got to be such a proud moment. Like, no matter how prideful you are, bro, it's like, I made you, so I just as much did that as you did that.
Our band would probably be like, why the fuck did you do that for?
Why the fuck did you do that for? You should have fucking put it in Bitcoin. But yeah, man, it's dope, man. That would be an amazing feeling, wouldn't it?
Where do you think it started, bro? Because you said that it was, obviously you had nothing growing up.
Yeah.
Which obviously is what motivated you to do everything that you did. But there's a lot of people in those situations where they have nothing, but they're content with having nothing. Bro.
Yeah, it's mad though, because I heard this bar the other day, and this pot of paper song. It's like, when you're broke, you don't know that you're poor. So I didn't even know, bro. Like, it wasn't until like hindsight, you know, when I look back and I'm like the way my friends' parents always treated me, and they always like offered me to stay at the houses, and always offered me like food and took me to training and stuff like that. Like, now I get it, because they must have just seen me like, oh, we have to drop this little brown boy back to the flat over there where no one's working, did all that stuff. So it's like,
that was just your norm though at the time.
Yeah, it's just a normal. And also, like, I didn't miss out on opportunities because I was a athlete. So like, when I was younger, I excelled in football. So I still got to do they took us to Germany play, and they took us to then when I was playing basketball, like, one of the benefits from England, if you come from the poorest background, you're eligible for loads of funding all the time, especially if you're an athlete.
Yeah.
So I never missed out on anything. I was a really happy child. I've always been okay with girls and stuff. So I've never like, I know I've always had good social skills, because I didn't want to be in my house. So like, I don't. It's weird. So I don't think it's having nothing that pushed me to do.
What was it then?
I don't know. I always try and figure this out, whether I'm being pulled to greatness or pushed for the fear of.
I don't think you're being pulled, bro. I think it's you. I think whoever the individual is that's really going after it, I think it's them.
I just always like everything I question when it comes to like.
I hear that.
Yeah, you know, like even the normal things you're supposed to do, like I said, about having a family, or like with religion, or with the flu thing that came up. Like, I just question it, and like, things don't make sense to me. I just don't do it.
What do you question about a family?
Like the living just you and your wife in the house with your children and doing the normal 9 to 5. Like, to me, like growing up, it just never was something I aspired to do. I was just like, what? Like, I'm gonna work all them days for someone else, and then just to ask for holiday pay, then go out, take you out once a year, and like, it doesn't make sense to me. And the idea of retiring, like, I don't know, like
To
so
live
many
your
things.
life once you've kind of got nothing left type thing.
Yeah, like what?
My kind of view on it is that it's like, it's obviously just not everybody's built the same, bro. And some people just don't want that stress
Yeah,
of doing your own thing, because it is fucking stressful, bro.
Yeah,
It
but
is stressful.
You touched on it earlier on, messaging people and putting yourself out there,
Yeah.
going and pitching yourself. Like that takes a lot of balls, takes a lot of courage, takes a lot of time that a lot of people can't be asked to do.
Mm-hmm.
and I know there'll be like a lot of guys watching this that'll be like, they'd kill to be in the position I'm in right now. Imagine like, luckily being blessed of being like 6'1", mixed heritage, society dictates is good looking. I'm doing well in my career. I've got no commitments to no wife, no kids, no mortgage. I can up and leave and go anywhere like I'm doing, and just be honest with people and attract things in abundance. Like, why am I not going to take advantage of that? Why am I just going to settle for something because it's what I'm supposed to do? Get a mortgage and stay here and be trapped in this loan. And like, nah, man, like, things that don't make sense to me like that, I need to just conquer.
You read, bro.
Nah. I listen to a lot of podcasts.
Yeah, no, it's like me.
You've just found a really good one, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, you. Yeah, you. I know you're looking at yourself right now and you're thinking, why am I not subscribed to the Gooms podcast? Just do it then, because it helps the boys out more than you actually know. Peace.
I listen to a lot of podcasts for a lot of interviews and speeches and stuff. When I read, it just goes in one bit and out the other.
Yeah, no, I hate reading as well, but I don't know. I just got a vibe from you that you read. I thought you were gonna violate me for not reading.
Some people just receive it different ways.
Yeah,
If for you to soak it in, I can imagine like your drive down. For me, on my own, in my thoughts, M-Way, cruise controlling, and like pods in, like everything that I'm listening to stays.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
And sometimes you have to listen to hours of shit to find like one good little segment that you can like apply to your life.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. I think at the beginning stages, you like everything's like whoa, mind blowing, and then now it's like you have to listen to like so much shit to find.
It's a lot harder to find gold because a lot of people online are saying the same shit. I mean, people could probably say that about some of the stuff that we say. But it's like a lot of the things out there, like you getting the same from everywhere you go, and then you'll find that one piece of gold. It's like shit. Like,
and they'll say it in a certain way with a certain metaphor. You're like, bro. I think that's what Tate's so good at. Like he just word stuff and like you're just like, wow, that's how I felt this whole time. I
Really makes it resonate with you.
Didn't know how to make it make sense.
Is there anything? Obviously, because obviously we had the discussion off camera that you really like Tate and you really agree with him. What do you disagree with him, or if there is anything?
I did disagree with one thing, but then in his recent interviews, he's like changed his tone a little bit, which is with the marriage thing. Which again, I know I've just said like I don't believe in but I do believe in marriage. Like because my mindset is like if there's a girl out there that's got like a career in art, for example, if I wanted to make her my wife, like I want to be the one that provides and protects, and 100%. I want her to be like my wife and just to love and nurture, raise a family, look after the home type thing. So I'm gonna ask her to give up her whole career. So what can I do in return? I feel like I have to marry her and I have to
give her that validation.
Yeah, so then if we didn't work out and 10 years down the line we break up, then at least she has half of my stuff.
He's got a cheeky prenup at the bottom. Like.
Yeah.
You ain't getting nothing.
The thing is though, is I think about this a lot. Is like, why does it need to go through like the law and the government to get married to someone? It doesn't quite make sense.
That was Tate's argument. Like, I love you, you can be my wife, but why does the government need to know about it? Why do they?
As long as they've got some sense of security, that's what I'm saying. Because I just don't want them to give up everything to chase my dreams with me and to be my passenger to then.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I come from somewhere, I know Chris does as well, where like we want to be providers, bro. But I don't think that there's anything wrong though with like my girl, like working if that's what she wants to do. I mean, me personally, I mean, I would rather at home. But if she said to me, like, I want a little job here and there, I don't know, just 2 days a week, like that's cool. Like, go do your thing. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, I'd rather. I mean, I grew up with my mom home like 24/7. Like she gave up everything to look after us, and I think that was so important, bro. And like just our upbringing, bro. Like having my mom, like my mother's care, there 24/7, bro. Like she gave up everything to look after me and my sister.
That's just beautiful, man. That's what it's supposed to be, isn't it?
Yeah. It is beautiful, bro. And do you know what it is? It's like how happy like would you be one day if like you've got a woman that's willing to do the same for you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's about finding that right woman, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because a lot of girls now, especially like in the day and age that we're in, it's like they see all of these big rapper females. I'm a boss bitch. I'm this. I'm that. And a lot of them are coming away from what a woman was 25 years ago. And that was the things that our mothers are.
Yeah.
And that's the things that we love our mothers for. Now we're coming into an age where, well, I don't need no man and I don't need this and shit. It's not about
hate
you
those
need a
girls,
man. It's not,
innit?
but you're your best version of yourself when you're with a man. And
Yeah.
the same for a man, because we're supposed to complement each other. We come together to be the best team. Again, another thing that Tate says, there's nothing more powerful than a woman and a man that come together and fulfill their roles together, because it's like, I'm going to protect and provide, and you're going to nurture our children so we have the best possible children possible, so we can create the next generation of amazing human beings. You can't do that
100%
when you're a boss
agree.
ass bitch and don't
Yeah.
need no man. Do you know what I mean? So
And then people, them boss ass bitches, what are they gonna do when they get to my age and they're 30, 31, and then they want to settle, and then they want to, and
They've
then
been rammed
All the
through
good men
and-
have gone.
yeah, and then plus we're gonna, like, the people my age are then gonna want the younger ones that are still got their innocence and still got
Yeah.
their beauty and still
Yeah,
not the beauty, sorry, their beauty doesn't fade, but I mean like they haven't been ran through by everyone.
Yeah.
in their
Yeah.
innocence.
I thought of this earlier, but I didn't want to cut you up because you were talking. But what are like your non-negotiable morals?
Oh, that's a really good question, man. So I feel like my non-negotiable morals. I thought of a really good one earlier, actually. You know,
As a man, how are you gonna fucking act?
oh, if we
To
meant
come
just in a
correct? No,
relationship.
no.
Oh,
bro.
non-negotiable
I mean,
morals.
yeah, bro. Just like as a whole, like how are you gonna act?
we can go into the relationship stuff as well, because I feel
Yeah,
like
we
he
can
was
go into
cooking.
both, bro.
Yeah.
I think they both tie in.
I think as a man, I would like, it's just not selling out on your core beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, my core beliefs are to not sell your soul and do stuff out of character just to impress the masses and
Uh-huh.
form to society's norms.
Mhm.
So just do what's true to your heart.
What do you think about as well? So like, obviously there's some guys that are online and some guys that are saying like it's okay for like men to cheat. What's your view on stuff like that?
Nah, man, it's not okay for men to cheat.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like a lot of these guys that
I agree with you, by the
yeah,
way.
I think a lot of these guys that listen to, for example, like we all listen to Tate and we take the messages and we can critically analyze and dissect what we think is correct or not. But a lot of people just take everything for face value, and they'll expect these things from a woman, but they're not high value man themselves.
Bro, that's it,
You know
bro.
what I'm saying? So it's just like
Certain man move like Tate when they can't offer what Tate
Yeah.
offers, bro. It just
100%.
doesn't work like that.
I mean, that's a big reason why I don't want to commit to someone 100% yet, because I'm saying that I want to provide and protect and da-da-da. Yeah, I could provide a normal life right now, but I want a lifestyle that's like up here. I want to be able to do that. But then I feel like when you're someone that can provide that, like, you know, like the Anthony Joshua's and the Chris Browns, you know what I mean, all the money in the world, the looks, the everything, then you're in a position where you can say to your partner that they just shouldn't really expect loyalty from you in that situation. For them, but for me personally, like, I don't have any issue being loyal, man. Like, I've been in love before. When I've been in love, like, I just want to be that one person. I don't really care about anyone else.
Yeah,
And I've
100%.
I've really been out in these streets, man. Like, probably more than the average guy.
Yeah.
He's low key he's been low key trying to tell us all episode that he's been a fucking dog G.
Been out in these streets, man.
This guy fucks.
No, but I think personally it's beautiful, like when you stay like loyal. But one thing though as well is like, I think it's really important to like start like with your woman, and like when she's not, when you don't get with someone when you're here,
Yeah,
when you're down here, and it's like you grow together. I think that's amazing as well, bro.
yeah. I also think, you know, women, yeah, like, I feel like a lot of people like to complain about how there's not that many good girls out there and all like being these boss ass bitches and that, and they're immoral and this and that. But I'll say like 97% of women I attracted into my life all agree with the stuff that we're saying right now.
Facts,
Yeah.
bro. They find it attractive.
Yeah,
They actually do.
Yeah, and it's just like they're confused. They don't know, like, you know how like young boys don't know whether to like hold the door open for a girl or not these days, because they don't know whether that's being like misogynistic,
Being a simp or shit.
yeah, like they don't know where they stand. I think like a lot of girls, they're like, they want to be looked after and they want to just be loved and like the stuff that we're saying, but it's because like, these like music video people are telling them to do the other stuff and take advantage of
I think
men.
a lot of the girls as well that don't want those things, I've just never been exposed to them
Yeah,
and don't actually know what it feels like to be with somebody that does those things.
yeah.
That compliments you in the morning, that opens the door for you. Little things.
Well, some of the stuff that girls say to me now, like, since I've been single and stuff, like, say if I did go back with a girl after a night out, like, it's common for a girl to say to me, like, why did you choose me? I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean? You got no value.
Why did you choose me?
Why did I choose her?
Bro.
And I'm like, what do you mean, why did I choose you? Like if you're not...
Your ass was looking perky.
Yeah. I'm like, yo, you're a beautiful human, man. Like, I didn't choose you. Like, we just met and we started speaking. Like, it's
That's
weird.
crazy that
They
they'd ask you
don't
that.
value themselves that much that they think I can just choose them. It's Mine.
He
No,
has done some damage, bro.
Yeah.
From that, I thought I did some damage, but when I was in my dog days, no one ever said to me, "Why'd you choose me, bro?"
That's weird,
Ever.
man.
Well, how old do you want to be when you actually do end up with someone?
I will have. I'll if I met the right person now, I'd treat them well. But I was having this thought on the way here. Actually, I was trying to just come up like I like to bulletproof all my philosophies and everything like that. And I was thinking like maybe the reason I'm not in love right now is because it will distract me from my greater goal. And I pray every day to be to reach all these goals and achieve greatness and abundance, health, and wealth. But maybe the reason I haven't been given that person I'm in love with is because it will distract me from getting there. Because when you're truly in love with someone, you'll do anything for them, wouldn't you? And then their happiness becomes your responsibility a little bit, even though it shouldn't.
I think going out though and like soulfully, just like soullessly, just like climbing things, bro, as well.
Yeah.
That's just as much as a
Bro,
distraction.
I
can't get my words out.
That's always been my biggest strength and my biggest downfall has always been women from early, bro. Like it's like I've never got involved with like gang stuff, never get involved with drugs. I've never done anything like
It's hella
like
booty.
naughty. Yeah, well, just like it's always been. I don't have like a like there's like an ugly duckling story when there's like certain girls that used to be butters and then they got to like 21 and they had to glow up. Like I was kind of been alright since I was early, and then they were like, and my name is Pelayo, so it sounds like player, and it's just like whatever I was that cheeky little basketball player to like this guy I'm now, and then so it's just always I've always to a point before I was doing club promo for a bit as well.
Blessed.
Yeah, I got lost in the sauce when I was doing club promo. That's the most lost I've ever been because I had all these aspirations to do this modeling stuff. I just came off like this small reality show and stuff like that, and then we used to do like hosting every Friday at a club in Birmingham, and we used to get like a Z-lister come down every Friday to party, and our jobs would be to just meet the influencer and then take them to the club, but just have a good time. So by the time we're promoting it all week, by the time we get to the club, there's like tables and girls waiting, and then like if you're someone that can get girls and society dictates you should get girls and you're a pussy if you don't, you end up just doing it, and then like. Yeah, I got to a serious problem. I was really just out here. And then, like, I had a life coach who told me to try and go, like, cold turkey for a few days. And then when I tried to go cold turkey, it's a realization that, like, I actually can't do this. And then I was like,
But what do you mean cold turkey?
just not sleep with a random girl. Just
every single day you were climbing like random.
not every day. Like, quite often.
Damn.
Because it's so accessible,
you got the time
bro.
for that, bro.
It's so accessible. And then, like, imagine
Every day is absurd.
Oh, and then imagine I went to
I gotta dap you up for it, bro.
and then I went to like this
You're
clinic.
nasty.
I was at a clinic, obviously, just 'cause I was back then. As I was younger, it's like everyone watched the home. This was a long time ago. I was at a clinic, and then I told a lady like, because bus jokes when I walk in there as well. And there's one old African lady, she cut through all my bullshit. She was just like, "What's wrong with you? You could have AIDS right now. You could have a kid right now." And I'm so blessed that nothing ever happened. And then I was like, I know, I want to stop. So then she put me onto this like psychologist therapy thing through the NHS. And I started getting therapy. And then it was sick, man. I got down to the core reason why I needed validation, why I needed my ego stroked. And then hand in hand, I ended up meeting the girl that I was with for a long time after that. And then since then, I kind of just fixed up massively.
I kind of want to go in deep, bro. Don't feel like you have to answer.
No, that's fine.
But why did you find out why you needed that
yeah, it was
validation?
for that. It was literally just for the validation, man. Like, felt like I needed, because that's my reputation, the one that gets girls.
Yeah.
And it got to a
You
point
want to
where
keep
like,
that up. First
yeah.
one in the group chat. Oh, this
Bro,
thing's
and then
here.
it got to a point where no one cared anymore, and I was just doing it just for me. And I'm linking all these girls. I'm just like no one cares more. Like, man, them don't really care anymore. They know, like, yeah, I'm certified now. But get the girls. Like, who really cares? Why am I doing this? But I couldn't get out that cycle, that validation of just
It's like a trap, isn't it?
it's like feeds your ego every day as well. Especially it's like girls that you look at on Insta, you're like raw. And this was before I even progressed further. So like, for example, if I just show you my DM just through like the last few hours that I've been here, my phone's been on flight mode. You'll see like it's crazy. Girls move so mad these days.
I kind of want to see, man. I'm a bit far, man.
So
No, you have to wait till after. I'm joking.
this would just be like in the last. Hold on.
Audio listeners, we're right now getting do you remember the calculators that you used to have?
1 hour, 3 hours, 5 hours. And it would just be pure girls just moving. Then there's like hidden ones, and then there's actually it's not even a day yet.
This is why social media is fucked, bro. It's too
Well,
accessible.
And that's not even that's on my actual DMs. Yeah.
That's absurd, bro. And being like a young man,
Oh.
like and constantly like getting messages. Like, was that how it was 10 years ago?
Nah, well, no, 10 years ago.
Okay,
Like a few
5
years
years
ago.
ago.
It was like that. Probably not as much as that. Like half of that, but just still. Imagine if I do that.
Yeah,
that's-
you're a young
that's
guy,
okay.
and it's like shit. Like,
Whoa, and then you just get so lost in it, man. Especially like the girls are fire as well. You're just like, what the fuck?
yeah,
But yeah, man.
It's a dangerous trap, man.
it's one of those things. Bro.
It's so distracting.
I think
But
on
yeah,
that
nah.
note, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a nice place to end the episode, bro. One thing quickly before we go, it's kind of become like a bit of a tradition. Like someone who's like striving to either be like an actor or a model, or just like I want to say a masculine man as well, bro. Like, what advice would you give to them? What would you tell them to do?
And I've said this a few times, but just be the best version of yourself. Like really go out your way to. Sorry, I got something in my throat, man. Get emotional, guys. Just be the best version of yourselves.
You good?
Yeah. The advice I'll give is just literally break it down into categories: physically, mentally, spiritually, family-wise, relationships, and just be the best version of yourself. Develop your own philosophies. Don't conform to society norms, and just like have your own opinion and just really stand for something, or else you'll fall for anything. That'd be my advice.
It's beautiful,
Oh,
bro.
sick.
Thank
Nice,
you
bro.
so much. Thank you for coming down.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, bro. Thank you.
Thank you for the appearance. I think it was a great episode. But yeah, everybody, thank you for listening, tuning in as per usual. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification so you get notified every single time that we release a podcast. And we'll see you all next week.
Love. Thank you, bro, for coming on, man.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Love. Catch you later.
Peace.